Copy that. Standing by for 11:55. I'll check in with you right away. Why don't we hold you for one more minute for 11:56? Someone tell me how many people are out of the foyer and they can test it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to take your seats. Our program is about to begin.
I'm going to run another VOG in 1 minute. I'm going to hold on VOG until higher than the ballroom. All right, VOG, please. Copy that, rolling now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to take your seats. Our program is about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to take your seats. Our program is about to begin.
Rebecca, I'm going to do one more VOG, then I'm going to lower the screens, and the lighting crew will hopefully get rid of it. Please repeat. I do not have chimes in the booth. We're going to do another VOG, then we're going to get and lower the screens. VOG, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to take your seats. Our program is about to begin.
Rebecca, I'm going to lower the screens now. We're going to go into the video sequence. If I need to call an audible to slow it down, I will. BCRF staff, please help people to sit. All right, screens now. Screens to BCRF logo. Shades down, please. Lights and VOG, hold on video till mic 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screens for a special presentation. Please welcome to the stage BCRF President Myra Biblowit.
Thank you. This wonderful PSA was shown on CBS's Jump, Jive, and Thrive program this past Saturday. A very big thank you to my dear friend Kelly Doyle and the team at WBZ Channel 4 for your incredible coverage and your support. It was a wonderful way to herald October. I'm thrilled to be here for the 7th annual Boston Hot Pink Luncheon and Symposium. I love being in this beautiful room in this hotel, which is our second home. It warms my heart to see old friends and new coming together in support of our mission and give us the resources to put breast cancer out of business. Boston, as you all know, is truly an epicenter of scientific excellence and progress. We are honored to support every major institution in the region, and what we raise here stays here. BCRF is truly the gold standard, and I say that with pride. We are the highest rated breast cancer organization in the country, and we stand today still as the largest private funder of breast cancer research worldwide. It's a pretty remarkable achievement. One office, 40 people, the largest global funder. Cumulatively, we've given $73 million to this region. 38 researchers this year alone with grants of $8 million. Thanks to research here, we know today more about cancer, all cancers, than ever before. And thanks to the development of precision medicine and individualized therapy, patients have better outcomes and better quality of life. All of you should take pride in moving the needle forward and being part of that change. We can never say thank you enough for what all of you do to help BCRF. Let me recognize some of the people who deserve special recognition and thanks from us. Hold your applause, because there's a lot of them. Please stand. Cindy Fish, Attorney General Maura Healey, come on, Ellen Hildebrand, Nancy Kelleher, Kelly Tuthill, Stephanie Andrews, Andrea Brooks, Karen Hale, Elena Matlack, Liz Kelleher-Sells, Catherine Chapman Stemberg, Kelly Tuthill, and Simone Winston. There are other partners who are dear to us. This hotel, the Boston Harbor Hotel, the Kelleher family, Chef Daniel Bruce, Stephen Johnston, Rachel Stiglitz, and Gary Sloper. Thank you for the hospitality, the wonderful lunch, and the free parking. Thank you, Rick. Nancy and Rick are the most thoughtful, caring couple. Rick flies that flag for us whenever we are in town. I hope you all saw our banner in the rotunda. And when all our flights were canceled yesterday, and I came in on the train, and I came out in the rain, I thought, it's a short walk. I can save a few shekels and fund research. So I hoofed it down with my hood on and pulling my suitcase. One flip-flop broke. I walk with one bare foot. But the Boston Harbor Hotel was ablaze in pink, like a beacon welcoming me. And I walked in and I said, is 1414 available? And so I thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart for this home away from home. The best way we can thank the Kellehers is to have named a grant in their honor. Dennis Segroy at Mass General Hospital holds that grant, and it is our joy to do that. He is the Nancy and Rick Kelleher Award recipient. Our thanks also to the Boston Symphony Orchestra and Francesca Hune, who lent her time and talent to us this afternoon. The Ruby family and all at Ruby Wines, once again, you've allowed us to have your beautiful wine here. And to Nate and Laura Michaud from an organization called Traders for a Cause, they have just presented us with a check for $75,000. Helping assure that this will be the most successful event yet. And our wonderful friend Beth Healy joined me in Las Vegas a few weeks ago to speak at their conference. So I figure I raised half and she raised half. We're a good team, Beth. Nate and Laura, my deepest thanks. To Simone Winston and Winston Flowers, the beautiful centerpieces are once again her creation. And she has designated BCRF as a Charity in Bloom recipient this month. So if you order these before the end of the month, you will support us and you will support Simone. Kelly Tuthill, for a decade, I've had the joy of sharing the stage and been in partnership with you. You are part of our family. Kelly Doyle, similarly, steadfast guidance, commitment, and affection, second to none. And let me recognize advisory board members with us: Andrea Brooks, Alicia Daniels, Karen Hale, Linda Holliday, Nancy Kelleher, Sandy Krakoff, Donna Stearns, Kelly Tuthill, Linda Waintrup, and Simone Winston. We couldn't do what we do without the wonderful BCRF Development Events team, Rebecca Wasserman, Sam Chinsky, Catherine Minster, and of course, Lucretia Gilbert. They put this all together. Rick, you're going to need a bigger room. We're starting to come to the walls. We usually have the honor of having Dr. Norton with us to introduce the Boston researchers. He had a death in the family and sadly couldn't be with us. But he sends his best wishes. He's deeply committed to supporting the excellence in Boston. But he's asked Joan Brugge, a pioneer in her own right from Harvard and a distinguished member of our scientific advisory board, to do that in his stead. You're also in for a real treat, and the reason you come, which is to hear from the experts. Susan Domchek, an expert on inherited susceptibility, is going to moderate the panel with two researchers, one from Dana-Farber and one from Mass General, conquering cancer, breast cancer, and beyond. We all want to get to the beyond. So we will take questions that were submitted in advance and answer everything I think you ever wanted to know. Let me now bring to the stage my dear friend Kelly Tuthill. From the bottom of my heart, it's a joy to see you all. Thank you all for doing this, being here, supporting us in putting breast cancer out of business. Thanks so much.
Hello, everybody. You look beautiful. I have moments where I get a little overcome with emotion, and this is one of them. It's so amazing to see how this event has grown, and it makes me very proud to be a Bostonian. So thank you. It is one of my favorite events of the year, and I'm thrilled we have a record number of BCRF-funded investigators with us. They're the reason why we're here today, to learn from them and to celebrate their life-saving research. Many of you know that I, too, am a member of the club no one wants to be a part of. When I received my breast cancer diagnosis at the age of 36, I was terrified of my new and uncertain reality. But I would never have imagined that being a member of this club, I would have the great fortune of meeting countless women with unyielding strength and perseverance. I'm honored to share the stage with one of those women today. As has become a tradition at this luncheon, joining me for an insightful conversation is the Wonder Woman of Wellesley, Carol Chowie. Carol is a friend of mine and is living with metastatic breast cancer and metastatic thyroid cancer. She has worked tirelessly to raise awareness and funds for cancer research while remaining an avid runner and marathoner, and raising 4 children. By publicly sharing her journey, Carol has encouraged an honest and open public discourse around metastatic disease, shattering misconceptions, and providing a voice for a community that often feels underrepresented. I'm honored to know Carol and to call her my friend and to now welcome her to the stage. Everyone, warm welcome for Carol Chowie. Carol, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. So tell us a little bit about your diagnosis. How did you find out you had breast cancer, and what did you think when you got the news?
So I went in July of 2009. I had my initial breast cancer diagnosis. I went in for my annual mammo at the Faulkner Hospital, and really thought that I was going to, just be in and out and come back in time to run some errands before picking the kids up from camp. And I kept getting called back and called back and kept called back for more views. And I was trying to reach my husband, who was a physician at the hospital at the time, and he kept saying, I asked them to give you the VIP treatment. And I said, the VIP treatment is not, having, 10 mammos in a row. And I was fortunate to have a fabulous radiologist with me that day. And although she didn't see much that looked different from the last mammo, she thought it was important to do some biopsies. And then 2 days later, I found out that I had breast cancer.
And that was just the beginning.
That was the beginning. It was very, very scary. I was in denial. I kept thinking, maybe they read the wrong images. And the week that followed was kind of a whirlwind of meetings at Dana-Farber. And I think that once I met my team of surgeons and doctors and nurses, I really felt that I was in good hands. So that helped with the fear.
You went through the initial treatment, and then the cancer came back. How have you handled 2 stage 4 cancer diagnoses?
So on the 5th anniversary to the date of my breast cancer diagnosis, I was diagnosed with stage 3 thyroid cancer. And then the following year, I found out that my breast cancer had come back and was now metastatic. So I think, just trying to stay positive and, being active in the community helps. I think, I definitely was afraid. I think it's, probably normal and healthy to have those feelings of, fear and sadness and anger. But I don't let that dictate how I live my life or dominate my, day-to-day activities. So I think that has helped. And also the running has obviously been a big help. When I was first diagnosed in 2009, my oncologist, Dr. Eric Weiner, he knew that I was a competitive runner, so he said, keep on running. It's going to help you on so many different levels. So that first year of treatment from 2009 to 2010, I would run a race every other week before each chemo treatment. And that kept me going, and I was actually, back then, even winning races still. I think it might have been the Decadron, the steroids that were keeping me going. But it wasn't until my metastatic recurrence in 2015 that I understood how important it was for my family. The night that we told my kids after dinner that my breast cancer had come back and it had spread to my skull and my spine and my hips, they were afraid. They were all in tears. And I had happened to be training for a marathon to try and qualify for Boston for 2016. But within minutes, all 3 of my kids who were home looked at me and said, does that mean you're not running Boston next year? And it was in that moment that I realized, oh my God, my running is so important to how they view my well-being, my prognosis and everything. So it keeps them going as well.
And Carol, by the way, doesn't just run. She runs literally dressed up as Wonder Woman. What is that all about?
So that's fairly recent. What happened is in 2014, so before my, I think it was just after my thyroid cancer diagnosis, I went to a race, a superhero race in Cambridge. And I went to Party City and bought a Wonder Woman costume. And I showed up and there were like 50 gorgeous men dressed up as Wonder Woman as well. I'm like, I have competition. And then after my metastatic breast cancer recurrence, I wanted to have fun with my running because I've slowed so much just from the treatments and everything. So I just decided to dress up as Wonder Woman. So I've run the Boston Marathon a few times as Wonder Woman, and most local races, I dress up as Wonder Woman as well. And I'm running the New York Marathon next week, dressed up as Wonder Woman.
I love it. But make no mistake, this is not a gimmick. You run as Wonder Woman with one goal, and that is to raise money for breast cancer research.
Yes,
Why is that so important? And how much have you raised, by the way, my friend?
Close to $250,000 over the last 2 years. But I have a great support group that helps me raise the money. But research is going to, hopefully help me live longer, and it's really the key to finding better treatments. Right now there is no cure for stage 4 breast cancer. So patients like myself, we need, drugs that have, less side effects than treatments in the past, and, hopefully, ultimately a cure for breast cancer. So I think research is really the key to helping patients at any stage of breast cancer, but most importantly for stage 4.
And while we've got you, I just want you to explain to people what's the one thing that surprised you about people's reaction when they hear that you're dealing with not 1 but 2 stage 4 cancers. You talked about this a little bit to me before. What do people expect of you, and what do you try to teach them? So
I tried first to try and explain to people, and it's a difficult concept, even for adults, that you can have breast cancer or thyroid cancer in your bones or your brain or your liver. That's, they think it's bone cancer or brain cancer. And then they always wonder when your treatments are going to end. And you have to say, well, when I'm 6 feet under, because right now there is no end to treatments. It's basically, I'm on a combination drug therapy now. I go in once a month. So there is no finish line, not yet. And then people are always surprised that you can look healthy. A lot of metastatic patients don't look like they're sick. So I think it's difficult for people to comprehend that you might not feel as good as you look because, the cumulative effect of all the treatments. I personally feel that I'm very lucky. My first 2 years of treatment, I didn't even feel like a patient. I just felt like I was living a normal life, and I was tolerating the treatments very well. And then I had some progression at the beginning of the summer, and I had to do some radiation this summer. That was pretty difficult. And then I started a new drug combination therapy in August. It's not as easy as the first 2 years, but I still feel like I'm living each day, like a normal patient. Like I think my kids I think they forget that I have cancer, which I can never play the cancer card with them. I can play the tired runner card with them. But I feel like I'm able, thanks to, the research and improvements in treatments, I can still live a pretty normal life.
And people often expect you to cry, and I'm embarrassed to admit,
Yes.
when I interviewed you, I kind of thought you'd be crying.
Yeah.
But what's your message on that?
Yeah, I mean, I cry sometimes when at home when I'm by myself if I'm scared or if I'm, starting a new treatment. But most of the time, I feel like after my initial diagnosis and then when I had my recurrence, I was definitely afraid. And like I said before, I think it's, very normal to have those feelings. But I don't want to be, stuck on the couch all day long crying and feeling sorry for myself because that's not who I am. And the fact that I'm able to be very active in my community and to give back and to raise funds and awareness for breast cancer has really helped me get off that couch and not cry.
Well, we're all smiling with you, Carol. I'm so proud to know Carol. I'm grateful for your time today.
Thank you, Kelly.
And I will be wearing, Carol has given me my own cape that says, "Go Kelly, go." So I'm wearing it on Halloween in Carol's honor. Not running or anything, just walking around the
I'm
neighborhood.
going to get her there next year.
So I'll take a picture of you. I'll be eating candy and wearing the cape.
Thanks,
It's the best
Kelly.
I can do.
Exactly.
All right, so Carol, I hope, has given you some inspiration. Today in this country, more than 150,000 women are living like Carol with metastatic breast cancer. That number is too large, not to mention that every 2 minutes, so think about it, think about the conversations you're having and count 2 minutes, a woman is newly diagnosed with breast cancer. So we're making incredible progress, but we have a lot more work to do. So this is the point where I ask you to take out your research card on your table. It looks like this. It allows you to buy research, to do something. By filling out this time card and selecting the number of hours you would like to sponsor, you will bring us much closer to the treatments we need. As you remember from last year, after you fill out your research time card, you can fold it up and put it in the glass bowl on your table. That's because at the end of lunch, the table host or captain will pull one card from the bowl, and that donor will win the gorgeous Charity in Bloom arrangement, courtesy of Winston Flowers. So there's a good reason to contribute. So whether you contribute 100 or 1,000 or 10,000, everybody gets a chance to take home the beautiful flowers. So today, my friend, I'm filling out my card in your honor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You inspire me so much. I told you I felt emotional today because you move me and you inspire me. So I ask you all to do the same. Give in Carol's name or someone who's close to you. And I also want to let you know the volunteers are walking around to sell raffle tickets. We have 2 fabulous pink bonus items this year. With the purchase of 3 raffle tickets or more, you'll be automatically entered to win the stunning Bulgari Serpenti watch valued at almost $4,000, or the impeccably crafted Globetrotter trolley case. Did you see it on the way in? It's very cool. You can walk the whole way from South Station with that one, Myra. Raffle sales also fund research, so you can buy them guilt-free. Don't miss out on a great chance to win. And one more important note, thanks to today's Luncheon leadership, each of you are going home with a copy of Ellen Hilderbrand's newest bestseller, Winter Solstice. And it gets better. Join me and Ellen and Carol in the Rose Wharf Bar after today's lunch to get your copy signed over a glass of bubbles. All right?
Fabulous.
How's that sound, everybody? Do we have fun or what? How about if we let everybody get a chance to enjoy some lunch?
Yeah.
Yes?
Fabulous.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Well done.
Thank you, Kelly.